Little update tonight on the old fleetvan project. This is a 62 Kaiser Jeep fleetvan, and this is the FJ3A model, which has left-hand drive, and it's the longer wheelbase. Well, same wheelbase, but longer body. The body overhang is a lot longer on the back. But been working on this off and on for a long time. Finally got it back in the shop a little bit this winter to tinker with it. And obviously these are going away. I've got the whole thing stripped down. I just cut all the glass out of it. Inventoried the glass right here. I gotta go ahead and get new glass cut. It's all delaminated. So I wanted to keep the original glass, but it's just a little too far gone. Then got the driver's side door off. Overall in pretty good shape. I do have to rebuild the bottom track on this door. It's a little rotted on the outside, and then this slides on a track on the inside here, which is all in really good shape. It's just the bottom of the door just rotted out. So while I've got this thing torn completely apart, I'm going to go ahead and rebuild the bottom of the door, probably do something out of stainless, or maybe modernize it a bit with a nylon door guide from a newer step van. I was looking into those. I found the correct weather stripping seals for all the glass, so I'm going to have to do that. The reason I'm pulling the doors off is so I can pull the side glass out of these. They slide also, so I need to do new run channels and fuzzies and all that stuff to reseal these and make them slide nice again. I also wanted to grease it's got two roller bearings in the top that the door hangs on from a channel up here that I wanted to service. They're in great shape, but just want to go through everything. I don't know if I'll catch you up. It's getting a Ecotech 4-cylinder. This is a 2.4 Ecotech out of a Pontiac Solstice with a 5-speed automatic. Already got that mocked up. Cross member, able to use original cross member, just had to relocate it. Fabricated some simple motor mounts with the stock Solstice mounts and stands. The only place that I have to modify is this area right here, which I've already redone my seat placement. I don't want to have the original seat on a pole deal because I want a passenger seat, and these never had a passenger seat. So I was originally trying to keep this dash 100% original, but now I'm going to use as much of it as possible, but I want to reconfigure this area over here to allow the passenger to have footwell room. So that's going to have to change if I want a passenger to sit and be able to see out of the side window. So I'm going to take this piece out and move it over because I'm not going to be using it as a delivery van. So I want to move this over so I have a little bit more foot placement room. Never going to drive it standing up. So I want to be able to put my feet here. My seat's going to be mounted in this area. And then the plan is to fabricate a center console that goes over the tunnel. I'm going to put a small AC unit inside here, and then I have a AC unit that goes overhead. I'll show you that one, which is this guy. It's an overhead unit for a semi-truck, so I'm going to hang that on there. Just figuring out where I'm going to actually do some rear seats. I want to do a mount here. This subwoofer box is going to be hidden under that. I got stuff everywhere. I'm just kind of going through figuring out what I need to accomplish and what I need to get coming. The next thing I need to get is some steel to finish the fabrication of the engine mounts, to box the frame on that front piece where the engine mounts are relocated. I already got new door latch. This one was ruined on the van and was all locked up, so I got this one. It's actually a tool shed latch Works perfect with the original hardware. And I didn't have keys for it, so I decided to do that. This is the back of the old van. Again, this bumper's coming off. I've got something exciting to do for the bumpers. I'm not going to use the original. I never had the original bumpers, and this is the original owner put these on it. This van was used in a Boy Scout troop to haul Boy Scout gear. These are the wheels I'm going to run on it. I just have them mocked up on here. They are 18-inch wheels, and the way it sits right now is really high. I'm going to do a 4-link in the front and the rear. Yes, I'm going to keep the beam axle. This is just my curiosity, just an experiment for me on seeing how good I can actually get a beam axle lowered vehicle to drive. But I'm going to 4-link front and rear, parallel 4-link front, probably triangulated rear. Ecotech, so I got to do an in-tank fuel pump. Luckily, my fuel tank is actually in really good shape. I pulled it out. It's really good inside. It just needs a good cleaning. So I'll hot pressure wash it out, degrease it and everything, clean it all up, and then I'm going to put a sump in it for a high pressure fuel pump. A little sneak peek of the bumpers that I'm going to cut down and make work. That's all I'm going to show you, but if you can guess what those are, let me know. I do have original fleetvan hubcaps, which are bigger than these baby moons. I just have the moons on for kind of just to get a picture of what they look like, but I have the original hubcaps. They're super cool. I have 5 of them. One of them was in really bad shape, so I found another one on eBay which was in worse shape. So I'm going to make 4 good ones, and then I'm probably going to get those re-chromed. The paint is staying, or the finish is staying exactly how it is. I'm going to do a scrub down with Comet or Ajax is usually what I use, and try to get some of the paint to come back. There is a lot more paint under there. It's just covered up by the rust that was running down. But I have the grill, headlights, all that stuff. I just have it all apart. But yeah, this little Ecotech is a challenge to get in there, but it's going to fit good. I knew I wanted AC. I'm going to do electric power steering. So I already have a electric power steering unit that I'm going to use in here, which will be used with this column, but I'll cut it down and make it work. The original steering box is really tight. This thing didn't have very many miles on it. I think it had 42,000 miles. I got the original cluster. I gotta look, but the original engine was locked up. I have it right here. I got it apart finally. This is the first engine that I was never able to get to move. It was so seized that there was just no way it would come apart. I'll show you one of the pistons out of this thing. There's some of the stuff. Yeah, that one broke. I had to beat the pistons out of it, but I'll show you. This one did not break. It just was rotted. It just came apart, disintegrated. Everything was just froze up in this thing. But there's one that got some oil on it, but you can see the pitting and corrosion that happened on those pistons. But this motor's not going away. I am determined to get this thing to run. It probably won't run very well and make a ton of compression, but the cylinders, although ugly, they're not horrible. So I think I'm going to attempt to ball hone this and re-ring it and put new pistons in it and get the rods to free up and put this thing back together. If anything, I just want to hear it run. If it does run, maybe I can get it to someone that needs a good F-head for their project, either a CJ3B or another van or something. But anyway, there she is. I've got a ton of stuff to make this thing livable on the road. I want to make it do highway speeds, and the gearing in this transmission, believe it or not, with the size of tire that I've got under here, will work with that original 456 axle ratio. I should still be able to do at least cruise at 80 on the highway, which is way faster than I think anyone would want to drive this thing, because it is literally like a loaf of bread going down the road. So, I mean, you can just see the aerodynamics of this, or lack thereof. But crazy little van project. I bought this one out of East Texas in a little city called Gary City. Drove all the way from Arizona to Gary City. It took me a long time to find this thing. It was before everyone started building this. I've had this thing for a long time, so finally getting around to building it now that I got a spot to do it. But kind of the idea is keep the weathered, rusty patina look on the outside. I want to put my LambFab shop logo. Even though my shop doesn't exist anymore, I still want to do it on the side. I keep it kind of weathered, but with the cool red wheels. Modern EFI Ecotech pattern power plant with a 5-speed overdrive transmission. That's an Aisin transmission that comes in the Pontiac Solstice. And believe it or not, I've used this same combo in a farm truck that I built for running around on the farm. Square body Chevy, flatbed, 4-cylinder Ecotech, same transmission, and this thing runs 24/7 on our farm, and it has 21,000 miles in that truck so far off-road. It's never touched pavement, and it scoots around just fine. I put 488 gears in that one, and it works phenomenal. So this van being much lighter, it will have more wind dragged in that truck, but I'm going to have the 456 axle ratio, and I think this thing is going to be a little cruiser. It's not going to be a crazy hot rod. I have had the bad idea of putting a turbo on this, which might happen later. I'm trying to hold myself off from doing it now because I could stuff one in back over here, but I also want that room for the passenger's feet. So I'm going to cut that out and move this in and rebuild this corner of the dash so the passenger has more legroom and can sit a little bit farther forward, because if I put them where their feet have room now, they won't be able to see out the side, and that would just be miserable. So I need to get everyone moved forward so you can see out the side windows. So anyway, my buddy Justin is building me a custom wire harness for this. I had it all started stripping it down, but he's better than that. Better at those things than I am, and he does such a clean job that I asked him to do that one. And so we laid it all in here, figured out where the computer's going to go, my drive-by-wire pedal. This is going to have cruise control, AC, power, electric power steering. I'm going to stick with manual brakes on this. I've already figured out I'm using the original beam axle, but it's going to have Crown Victoria calipers and rotors, so it'll have Crown Victoria disc brakes on the front. I haven't decided. I'll probably stick with the drums for now. It's more than enough to stop this thing with what I'm going to do. These are aluminum wheels. These are 18 by 7s in the front, 18 by 8.5 in the rear, I believe. I got to look back. It's been more than a year since I ordered these things. I finally threw tires on them and bolted them up. But anyway, yeah, there's my little fleet van project. No, the 12 valve's not going in it. I did think about it, but it's not. I don't want to destroy this thing and rattle it apart. But yeah, there she is. She's going to be a little 4-seater with some cargo room. It's going to have dual AC. I'm going to have 2 evaporators in it. Even though this thing is so tiny, it's hard to get a picture of how small this van is. So just to give you an idea, because these things are crazy rare, so you'll probably never see another one. If you do, take a picture of it, because they're very rare. I think they only made 100 of the FJ3A, if I'm not mistaken. But believe it or not, this is the same wheelbase, same chassis, length as a Willys, like a military Jeep. So this is a 62, so it's in the area of Kaiser Willys. So this is the same wheelbase, same chassis as a DJ 3A, which is the first, what you would call two-wheel drive mail Jeep. So same wheelbase as a military Willys Jeep, which is crazy short. It looks like a big step van, but in actuality, it is very short wheelbase and very short. But I've always thought these things were crazy cool. It doesn't look as cool right now because I don't have the glass in it. The front windshield is what just absolutely made me had to have one of these things. They are so wild. But I'm looking forward to getting this thing on the road. Let me know what you think in the comments if you want to see this one. It is going to be on Air Ride. Going to do some, like I said, the 4-link front and rear. But I'm going to do probably shockwaves from Air Ride Technologies. I've got some older shockwaves that I might run on all 4 corners. I don't need a whole lot of lift for this thing. So I want to drop it about 6 inches in the front and probably about 8 or 9 in the rear to get it level and just slammed. So get these wheels tucking up in the wheel wells, and should be a cool little ride. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you like this project, want to see more of it. If not, I'll just keep working on it in the background. But if you guys really like it, please like and subscribe. I haven't really been pushing this channel very much, but I'd like to. I'm a farmer by day, but by night, I'm still a hot rod builder. I used to have a shop for 13 years, so now I'm finally getting back to doing this stuff on the nights and weekends and whenever I have a break away from the farm. So anyway, if you like it, please subscribe. That'll let me know that you're interested in seeing more of this kind of stuff. I got a whole bunch of projects in the works. So if you like this stuff, give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you want to see of my projects, and I'll gradually start throwing some more out there. Hope you guys have a great evening. Take care.